What truly has been sickening, though, this week is the way that the modern feminist mob has turned the Bondi tragedy into a way to attack and demonise men again. I'm truly getting sick of this garbage in Australia, and as men, we do have to just consistently and constantly push back. We have to speak out and fight against this poisonous anti-male thinking in our culture. This was a question posed in all seriousness, believe it or not, to the Prime Minister by the morning host on ABC Radio Melbourne, a guy called Raph Epstein, this week on his show. Just have a listen to this.
The New South Wales Police are investigating whether or not women were deliberately targeted in Bondi. I get a lot of messages along these lines. If a mass stabbing of women is fuelled or could have been seen to be driven by the ideology of misogyny, do you think that should be called terrorism?
Wow. He gets a lot of messages along those lines, does he? Yeah, right. From who? From his small group of radical feminist friends at the ABC and in Melbourne academia? Most likely. Let's just read that again. If a mass stabbing of women is fuelled or could have been seen to be driven by the ideology of misogyny, that's women hatred, do you think that should be called terrorism? My God, I have heard a lot of crazy things on the ABC in my day, but this is astounding. It's no wonder almost nobody listens to ABC morning radio anymore. The ratings came out for ABC radio, for all radio stations this week, and ABC Radio, Capital City Radio, is just rating appallingly in every capital city in Australia. We are not getting our money's worth from these people. But what's even more astounding is the Prime Minister's reply. Let's play that clip again. Here's some of Mr. Albanese's reply to that ridiculous line of questioning from ABC radio host Raph Epstein.
Men are overwhelmingly the perpetrators of this violence, and men as a group have to change their behaviour. We have to be prepared to speak out about these issues. We have to be prepared to talk to our friends and people we know. We have to be prepared to call out behaviour that we see when it's unacceptable, because including the disrespect of women.
Oh my God, our Prime Minister just said that. Men are overwhelmingly the perpetrators of this violence, and men as a group, all of us, have to change our behaviour. That is identity politics defined, right there, folks. Because of our gender, all men must change their behaviour. Because we're not individuals with individual brains and minds and psychologies and illnesses of our own. Nope, we're just one big blob, men. And we all are responsible for the violence of all other men. Sorry, Albo. Sorry, little ABC morning show man. I'm not buying it. And the millions of good men in Australia are sick to death of this misandrous BS from extremist feminists. And so are most good women. We're over the endless demonisation of men and masculinity. This is radical, extremist, far left-wing feminist nonsense, and we've had enough. Of course men commit more violence than women. Men have more testosterone. We have to keep our violent tendencies under control and use our superior biological physical strength for good, not evil. But we will always be the ones who commit more physical violence and whose physical violence will have more impact. But here's the bit no feminist wants you to know, because it blows their pathetically naive thinking out the window. Men are twice as likely to be the victims of violence from a man they know than women are. And they are 11 times more likely to be the victims of violence from a male stranger. So you don't feel safe walking the streets at night? Well, neither do I, nor many men. That is a crime problem, not a men problem. So please don't tell me I'm responsible for the actions of criminals, thanks. We won't cop it anymore. And that our pathetic Prime Minister thinks it's okay to entertain this kind of bizarre, far left-wing ideological thinking, play to the ABC lovies set, and there's not going to be a backlash, mate, you're kidding yourself. Men in Australia need support right now, not tearing down anymore, and you better step up, or better still, just butt out.